Okay, here we are with Romania Dean Thomas, and he has the book Raw Chi.
Raw Chi.
There you go. It's a beautiful book. I was looking it over last night here at the Pure Living
Thank you.
Expo, and you have some really great information in there. But I'd just like for you to give me a little bit of information how you got started in Chinese herbs.
Okay, well, in 1994, I started out as a green juicing therapist, so I got into the whole health and wellness world then when I was growing green food and taking it to really sick people's homes and making them green juice. And that was really, kind of a lot of benefits on them. But in time, it dawned on me that there was a lot that I didn't know that I wanted to know deeper. So I made a prayer to learn the deepest health system that exists. And that very night, my prayer was answered when I met Master Herbalist Ron Teagarden, and I became his apprentice for 8 years. And he taught me in the tradition of a 5,000-year-old lineage of herbology called the Gate of Life. And that is, we focus on tonic herbs. It's a Chinese system. And it's focusing on tonic herbs, which means that tonic herbs are like herbs that maintain homeostasis of health. They don't act medicinally. They're acting like a class of superfoods. They help to bring your body into balance and hold it there. Okay. So our whole idea is to hold the two forces of yin and yang in a perfect dynamic equilibrium. And if they're held in perfect equilibrium, all organisms have health. Mm-hmm. If they're out, then the organism is out of health. And so these herbs are designed to, when used appropriately, and used wisely, bring the body into and maintain homeostasis of its health.
Okay, awesome. So I like how you say that you don't have to, people are eating raw foods, but you don't have to eat all raw foods because you need heat.
Yeah, it depends on the individual.
Yeah.
Some men are fine eating a lot of raw food all the time. Men are governed by qi, so which is always are taking care of the moisture part of it, the cooling. We're warming it up. We're turning that into energy. So raw foodists men tend to be very slender, very almost even tight-looking muscles. Whereas women have, in general, most women have what we call a yin constitution, and that means a propensity to hold water.
Right.
So when water can, with a woman, water edema can build up around the middle part of the body and cause a bell shape in the hips, and this are pear-shaped hips, and this is due to water edema building up around the digestive organs, which we refer to as the spleen meridian.
Right.
And then the raw food diet, the only contraindication I know is that it is a cooling and dampening diet because it's a wet, damp food that can contribute to that water edema. Now, I've done pulses for women who are raw foodists and found they had great energy, and their spleen pulse was actually strong, which meant they were metabolizing the food and turning that into good energy for their daily energy needs, yet there was this pesky water sitting around in the middle of their body.
Yeah.
And so I kept looking at that, and it was an equation. Then I saw that the Chinese people, and doctors and acupuncturists in Chinese medicine discourage a high raw diet because they don't want people's spleen to get damp. So there was this dichotomy between raw foodists and Chinese doctors about the value of raw food. And I looked at it, and then after doing some pulses of some women who had excellent pulses of the spleen qi, which meant they were getting energy out of the food they ate and turning that into good energy for their daily needs, yet holding the water too, I said, okay, there's an equation we have to figure out, because there's a good and a bad here.
Right.
And so I did. I figured it out almost immediately. In this book, Raw Chi, I explain it, and I explain female metabolism, blood physiology, hormone physiology in a simple way, according to the way the Chinese see it, which I think is very accurate and very concise and very insightful to understand. But then it dawned on me right away that within the materia medica of Chinese herbology, there are herb formulas that have been designed over centuries to warm the middle jiao and the spleen and to help fortify the blood.
Right.
And so I went, wait a minute, they've had the answer all along. What if we used herbs as an adjunct to the raw food diet in order to make sure that the spleen stays warm and water and fluids are metabolized and the blood is fortified with qi, so the blood goes upright, warm hands and feet, and a nice glow in the skin, easy menstrual cycles. If we can help support that, then the raw food diet could work perfectly. And so I wrote this book about that, and then I went back to Chinese doctors and said, what do you think? And they said, you could be right. And then and then based on the testimonials I'm getting from women in particular, I'm correct. So this book could possibly bridge and correct or bridge a dichotomy, and find the equation. I also created a product for this.
Okay.
It's called Shapeshifter. And so Shapeshifter is based on a classic Chinese formula from the Chinese Materia Medica. It's been used for hundreds, maybe thousands of years.
Oh, really?
That billions of people have taken effectively and successfully to help maintain nice shape and strengthen the blood and qi and the digestive system.
Yes, I bought some of that. I bought some of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
This tastes great. And it is based on a classic formula. So it's not a novel idea that I came up with. I based it on this formula called ginseng and astragalus formula.
Okay.
Although there's no ginseng in this, there's Codonopsis and astragalus. But this is a great thing and the testimonials I'm getting on this from women are great. I think a lot of raw food restaurants are serving this as a drink. Cafe Gratitude and some others are serving it and encouraging people who have dealing with moisture retention to drink this along with their
All right. Wow. Now, so what you do is you have somebody come to you, and you read their pulse, and you pick certain herbs that fit their needs, right?
Yes. So all these herbs here are a part of my basic herb pharmacy, and what I do is I do the traditional pulse analysis, which is 6 pulse places on the wrists, and I can tell then the interaction of your spleen, meridian, and digestive with your kidneys, your adrenals, with your lungs, and with your heart and your liver, and see how all of those are balanced out. And then help to, again, bring them into balance, as we're saying. Tonify, which means to bring into balance, warm the spleen, maybe tonify the kidneys to replenish. People that have been under a lot of stress. Adrenals and kidneys are going to be low. Women who've had childbirths, women who have had heavy menstrual bleeding, men who release a lot of semen, people who are under stress. All these things, what they call leak our jing, this energy called jing, out of our kidneys, so we can replace that. We can actually put that back in while also tonifying the spleen to increase general metabolic integrity.
Excellent. Now, when you got started, you did your prayer to find out. And were you interested in Chinese medicine at the time, or did you know anything about it?
It was a mystery to me. I actually am told I'm a reincarnation of a well-known Chinese doctor in the past. So when I was young, growing up in Kentucky, for some reason everything Chinese just shook me up. I was like, oh, what about you? And I remember that show Kung Fu that guy was my savior. Kane. I would rush home from school to watch Kane, like he was my hero,
Right.
And then so when I met Ron Teagarden, it seemed like it was no coincidence. I had been married to a Chinese woman. I'd gone to China in 1985. They coincidentally took me to herb farms everywhere we went. I thought, well, why aren't they taking us to the silk factory, the mattress factory, herb farms.
So it's synchronicity.
It was a synchronicity. Yeah. And I noticed the reverence they pay for the soil there. Because they're the oldest farmers, traditionally, they've been farming the same land the longest of any people on earth. For 40 centuries now or more. The same pieces of land, so they understand soil microbes very well.
Yeah.
But these herbs come from places that are protected. They're wild places. People ask me that sometimes. They say, isn't this stuff tainted? And no, this is coming from places similar to way up in the north of Vermont or Maine.
Vermont or Maine.
And where the air is really clean. There's nothing but forest. A lot of it's protected by the United Nations. This is in the Manchurian province of China, way north of Beijing, way up near the Arctic Ocean up there. Near Siberia. And these herbs grow in those cold places.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so these are pristine
excellent
herbs that I source. I can't speak for all Chinese herbs, but I know that I source very pristine ones.
But I source. Okay, so how can somebody get a hold of you?
Well, my website is shamanshackherbs.com. My company is Shaman Shack Herbs. This is there. Both these are there on Shaman Shack. In fact, I have a special of this right now.
Oh, okay.
It's on there. You can see it. And then my name is Romani Dean Thomas. So I love to talk to people. I'm a Libra. I like people. I love to. I like personal communication with people a lot. I feel blessed that I'm just in a place in my life where I'm not too busy, where I can always stop. And sometimes I'll pull over to answer a person's text or email immediately because I love that kind of communication.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And if somebody wanted you to meet you personally, you'd come to them, or?
Well, yeah, I do travel across the country all the time. This fall, I'll be going all back across the country toward Connecticut. And so if you're in the Midwest, you can get in touch with me and see where I'm going to be. My website may list a few of my locations. I'm kind of
Okay.
not real good about that. But I can also work on the phone or on email. People can tell me what their age, their weight, their height, their stress levels, how many children
symptoms.
they have, their occupation, and their history, and then I can usually make a form and mail it to you.
Oh, okay, excellent. Well, thank you for letting me interview you.
Oh, yeah,
And
thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like my book.
I loved it. Okay, and this will be on Awaken Within with Sherilyn.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl.
Namaste.